The question that I'm asking myself is that why would you be exposed to Ebola virus in Congo, but you want to be treated, but you have to be thrown out and be treated in Kenya? That is a question we're asking. And I think as I conclude my submission in today's discussion, I have picked from what friend Okango have said and what Dr. Edson presented before. And I think we are reading from different, script altogether. It's like their understanding and the information we have is completely different. When you're trying to defend a government and when you're trying to politicize something that you're also claiming that it should not be politicized, you miss the key, point in the discussion. And I want to say that because we have a situation here. The facility that we are talking about that the Kenyan government want to put, we have even picked from the American media themselves, and from what information we have, it is that infected Americans who have contracted Ebola virus are supposed to be thrown into Kenya for treatment. That is the bone of contention. We are not going to discuss on whether we have porous borders or we are within the zone where Ebola is happening. It has been there. Ebola is not coming out tomorrow. That particular disease has been with Congo and for some reasons being managed, the way it has been managed. But the question we are asking is why is it that Americans who have been exposed and infected with Ebola in Congo, trying to mine there or doing whatever business they are doing there, must be thrown into Kenya, irrespective of whether it is in Laikipia or otherwise? That is a question. That is where we are disagreeing. So don't bring in the excuses of other UN installations in Kenya. No, the discussion is not about the UN facility in Gigiri. Who brought that conversation? We cannot use it as a scapegoat to actually free in people who are infected. As far as I'm concerned, what is the intention? The intention is to fight the spread of the disease. And to fight the spread of the disease, we try to contain it at the point in which the infection is happening. So if that is the intention, if these people means good and they want to fight Ebola, why is it not being done in Congo, where we have the problem of infection? Because this is a virus that we need to contain. If we are not going to politicize it, then we become rational and reasonable. We cannot purport that, guys who are just singing one term and have no solution. Come on. We are talking about something that does not make sense. You are picking citizens who are infected from one country and you are taking them to treat them in another country. Why are you not creating, what I would call another facility? Congo, as someone, presented here, is a massive country. We have been there. Some of the places in Congo, in fact, the biggest percentage of Congo, it is completely, what I would call, forest. Just go in the middle of the forest. How can Americans find, minerals in the middle of forest, but they cannot find, what I would call a facility, what they cannot be able to, put their people inside a small facility within Congo, treat them there, and then once they are free from danger, they can free them to their country. That is where the issue is coming to bear. That is why we are not agreeing at all with the decision where we are becoming the guinea pig, where we are becoming the host of a virus that we do not have the capacity. If for sure, Fred Okango, we have to discuss about, increasing our capacity in terms of response and management. That can be done without the foreigners coming into our country who are already exposed. That can be done. I have seen a report from the American side that they have rerouted everybody who is coming out of Southern Sudan, Uganda, and Congo. They have actually been rerouted to a facility in the US, to an American airport that has capacity to be able to screen them and quarantine them. Why are they doing that? And please note that these are countries that they have actually been highlighted as areas where a possible virus could be spreading. Now, for us, they want those who are already sick to bring them here. That is what we cannot agree. Let us not look at it in terms of who is on this side, who is on the other side. Let us look at it from a reality of the fact that we do not have capacity to be able to handle that particular virus in the unlikely or likely event that we bring in sick patients who infect someone, then that someone infects another, and then there is a crisis in the whole country. We cannot continue using political alienation, as a means of reference to think and put up a suggestion forward. We are looking at things from a very critical, point of view, as Njeri would have told us, that if by any means necessary, you bring in infected patients into our country, there is more probability of having that particular disease spread within our country. And for this matter, we are dealing with someone who does not explain why that facility has to be located in a particular area. So, Dibar, that is the argument. That is what we do not agree. We do not have any issue with UN headquarters or of its installations whatsoever. There is no relationship with what it is that you are addressing here. I yield.
I'm really humbled by the submissions that is taking place on this platform. It tells you that this country is on autopilot, that it's any system goes, and that we do not have any guiding policy on how some things must be approached, must be implemented, or must be done. The autopilot mode in which the country finds itself in is being steered by none other but Mr. William Ruto. Mr. Frederick Okango's arguments that, these are requirements of the international law, some of you are lawyers here, you understand it, holds no water whatsoever. It does not even, and of course, even to purport to quote international law in this circumstance, it tells me that someone may not have comprehended the application of the principles in international law and where and how they should apply. There is no international law here being invoked. We are looking at the sovereignty of the people. Sovereignty of the people, the way I understand it, is not the ability of the people to have a president or to govern or to have organs of government that collaborate with each other, the presidency, the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary. That is not what is defined by sovereignty. I understand it to mean that we should even be secure in terms of health risks that our people are exposed to. So my position was that we speak about food sovereignty. We cannot speak about food sovereignty without speaking about our sovereignty in terms of health, the ability to man our own health sector, the health policies guiding the same and informing the same. To the extent that our health system has been infiltrated by the Americans, we lose our identity as a people. We lose our identity as a nation. We lose our sovereignty. But the biggest risk is this, that we have a president who is out to please anyone whom he thinks will be of help to him to overcome the 2027 challenges. All this, what he's doing is trying to entice the Americans to side with him when the push comes to shove. Whatever he's doing, whatever international outreaches he's doing, he's doing it not for the sake of this country, not in the interest of this country, but in pursuit of self-preservation. That is a risk that we have. That the individual at the helm has no interest for this country other than his own interest to survive the political turmoils that he finds himself in. That is why you'll go all the way, even to him inviting this country into being an unnatural ally. It will tell you that he's in pursuit of self-aggrandizement, self-preservation, and survival. And that is a risk, that even the decisions that are being done in this country, they are being done in an egocentric manner. Looking at what do I benefit? For example, how did he come up with the 1.7 billion allocation? Which parliament allocated that money? Which policy assessed it and said that yes, 1.7 billion would be sufficient to establish this quarantine? Who will allocate that money? Did that money come in as a grant? Did it come in as a loan? How will that money be accounted for in our books? Those are some of the issues that we are looking at. And when that money comes in, and money does not find itself in our books, and the institution mandated to allocate that money or to oversee the application of that money are not involved, it withers our sovereignty. Who agreed, who budgeted for 1.7 billion? How will it be appropriated? Which government department is absorbing this money? And how will that money be reflected by the Auditor General? You know, these are issues that we are looking at in my effort to prove to you that there is much more than meet the eye. As I pen of Dibal, we must invite ourselves in such a situation whereby we must divorce ourselves from political affiliation and look at the fabric of this nation, the survival of the nation, and apply the best interest principle of this country. Finally, Dibal, the argument that Ebola can get in through any other avenue, again, does not hold any water. For now, we have an ascertained, a well-known avenue, approved avenue, that this is the only avenue known to us where Ebola will get in, will sneak in. The argument that can even come from Busia again speaks about the failure of our nation. That our nation is not capable of filtering the individuals coming to our territory. Again speaks about our territorial integrity. That our territory can be infected by any person because you have no mechanisms of screening them. Don't speak about the porous borders, because the porous borders should not be that the avenues that are supposed to infiltrate us and compromise our territorial integrity. To the extent that territorial integrity will be compromised, again, it speaks to the compromise of our sovereignty. I think that's how I look at it, Dibal. It's not something that we just need to speak about and yell here and there. We have to look at it from a very broad, objective perspective. I yield.